Hello my fellow Luminites, it is Ivy, also known as Intuitive Ivy, here on this channel, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, hello, my name is Ivy. This channel is all about spiritual, supernatural, magical, and mystical things. So if that is something that you're interested in, please go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button and become another member of our growing Luminite family. So today we are going to be talking about something really exciting. It is a video that I wish that I had seen when I was starting off with tarot, but I'm going to be talking about the top 20 decks under $20. We all know that tarot can get really expensive. Some decks ranging at $60, $40, even $80 and up. That is why I wanted to compose this list. These aren't just my personal favorites, but I took into consideration how popular they are, other people's reviews, how highly rated they are. And then of course I went online and looked at articles after article of people and their favorite decks and why it's their favorite decks. And I composed this list. These are going to be in no particular order. Some of them I do have, some of them I don't. So starting from number 20 is the Tarot of Sexual Magic, and this is by Lo Scarabeo. This is $17.09 on Amazon or Amazon.com, so it is not expensive at all. And this deck is very mature rated. It's really good if you're going to be doing one of those steamy relationship readings, not just a basic relationship reading, but getting to like what pleasures you and what pleasures your partner. This is a really good deck to do that. I'm actually thinking about getting this deck. Definitely a very hot, steamy, erotic deck. Now, coming in at number 19 is the Wildwood Tarot, and this is by Mark Ryan. This is $17.04, again on Amazon.com. So this tarot deck is absolutely gorgeous. I had a life coach or a spiritual life coach that was teaching me how to read tarot, and she would read my cards every single time we would do sessions, and this was the deck that she would use, and I was just so blown away by how beautiful all these illustrations were. So coming in at 18 is the Hermetic Tarot by Godfrey Dawson. This is $19.76 on Amazon. This is one that again went with like popular vote and how highly rated it was. The illustrations on this, it's a very simple black and white simplistic tarot deck, but it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. It was rated highly and doesn't have any color illustrations, but it seems pretty interesting. And again, once again, a very different take on the just regular full-on colorful tarot cards that we see on average today. Coming in at number 17 is the Tattoo Tarot by Diana Collins, and this is $14.25 on Amazon or Amazon.com. So I don't have this deck, but my best friend owns this deck, and I can say that these illustrations and the cardstock are absolutely stunning. It has a very old school sailor tattoo vibe, so if you're into like the whole old school tattoos and like those sailor looking tattoos, this is a deck that I highly recommend. It is something again that is on my list to get because the illustrations are just stunning. Alright, so the next one on our list, coming in at number 16, is the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reid. Colette Baron Reid is very famous for so many of her oracle decks, including the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, which is like probably just very beloved, I feel, amongst here in the YouTube community. It's one that I often see in pick a card readings and all that. The Good Tarot is a tarot deck by Colette Baron Reid, and just like all of her oracle decks, the illustrations are just absolutely gorgeous. There is just so much to it, and it's called the Good Tarot because it has a very beautiful light vibe to it. All of the illustrations, as you can see, are just so absolutely gorgeous and stunning and just so vivid, and I feel like anybody could take away from this, whether you're a beginner, whether you're intermediate, or even an advanced tarot reader. This is just an all-around just good vibe, beautiful tarot deck. So this deck is available on Amazon for $19.01, or you can get it at Hay House on the Hay House website for $15. So that is the next one. Coming in at number 15 is the Easy Tarot Kit by Josephine Ellershaw. So this is one that this is the very first tarot deck that I ever owned when I was learning the tarot. This is one that I saw at Barnes & Noble, and when I wanted to learn the tarot, it was just very, very easy to learn. The illustrations are loosely based off of the original Rider-Waite tarot, so if you're using any sort of like lesson or anything like that where they use the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, it's pretty similar, but the illustrations are a little bit more 3D. And the cards are beautiful. The backs of them are absolutely stunning, and you can get them at Barnes & Noble or Amazon for $17.96. So I highly recommend it, especially if you are a beginner. This is the tarot deck that I started out with, so it's a good one to start off with. It's very similar to the Gilded Tarot. So coming in at number 14 is another one that is very popular. This is yet another one that I have on my to-buy list. Like, this is one that I need in my life. This is a very dark take on the tarot, so just be very mindful of that. So if you're the type of person that likes very lighthearted, beautiful, very pretty girly illustrations, this is probably not the tarot deck for you. But it is the Deviant Moon Tarot by I didn't even write who this is by, so I'll just put it down below, but it is $19.76 on Amazon, and the illustrations are so like a modern goth type of vibe. If you are reading to like more like gothic friends, or if you're doing some sort of like Halloween or like dark themed tarot reading, this is definitely a deck that you should consider buying. This is a deck that I absolutely love. It's just something that really vibes with me, and I just, you guys know, if you guys see my channel, I like to tap into all that dark stuff, so this is a really cool themed tarot for me personally, and it's definitely on my to-buy list. It's just stunning. These illustrations are so modernly gothic and gorgeous that it's gonna happen one day. Alright, so coming in at number 13 is the SEER'S Tarot deck, and this is by Chris Ann, and this is one that you have to, in order to get it under $20, you have to specifically go on the Hay House website. So on the Hay House website, it is $15, and this is a tarot deck that I feel is just so beautiful because the artwork is just so stunning. It's literally looks like it should be hung up in walls, and it's a very modern take again to the tarot, so it looks modern. The people look modern. They look like, the hipsters that we see nowadays. It's a really good deck that goes with our decade. It's so pretty. It's one of the most popular decks out there. Coming in at number 12 is the Muse Tarot by, again, Chris Ann, the same author and illustrator as the SEER'S Tarot deck. This is another one that you have to go specifically on Hay House to get the low price that's under $20, and it is $18 if you go on hayhouse.com. And this is a tarot deck that you guys might have seen before if you guys watched my bonding with your tarot deck video. This is one that I absolutely love. This is one that has so much symbolism to it. Is again just a very, the vibe that it gives out is just so heavenly, so Lumeria, it's just so gorgeous. I love how instead of like the wands and the fire, they have like voices for the swords, and they have materials for pentacles, and it's just overall so beautiful and beautifully illustrated and just so colorful, both the front and the back. The cardstock is pretty, it's not thin, but it's not too thick. thick. Like I feel like this will last, it's pretty sturdy and it'll last you a while. It's not like too flimsy, but it's not like the thickest cardstock that I've seen. Real humans on there and like real animals on there, and adding all these like geometric shapes and colors and textures. It's just so pretty and so just beautifully well done. So coming in at number 11 is the Thoth Tarot by Aleister Crowley, and this one you can get for $17.21 on Amazon. So Aleister Crowley is somebody that is very, very well known in like the supernatural Wiccan community, and also for me personally, the way that I found out about him is if you guys have watched Good Omens, you know the demon's name is Crowley. I feel like that name was loosely based off of Aleister Crowley. So he made his own tarot deck, and it is very commonly used among the tarot community. I personally do not have it. It's not something that I feel like maybe I will get if I get into reading Aleister Crowley's work, but as of right now it's not something that I am interested in getting at the moment. Coming in at number 10 is the Tarot of the Divine by Yosemite Yoshitani. This is $17.99 on Amazon. This is a deck that is absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous. It is one that I have. It is one that I highly recommend to any fairy tale lovers, folktale lovers, because just looking at the backs, we have this beautiful blue moon phase back, and me being very obsessed with the lunar cycles and the moon phases. You guys know that I love my moon, but the fronts, each picture is just so beautifully illustrated. There's no like simplicity. They didn't go, each one has a very detailed illustration. They didn't go easy, even in the minor arcana. They paid very close attention and put so much detail into each and every illustration, and each one depicts a different folk tale, fairy tale, or mythological story. It's just so beautifully illustrated. Also, the cardstock and the texture of the cards are they're so thick, but the texture is just so easy to shuffle. It's absolutely amazing. It's incredible. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. It's so thick. It's a bit heavy, but it's good. Like, this is gonna be a deck that lasts me a long time. It's so amazing and gorgeous. Coming in at number 9 is the Crow Tarot by MJ Culnane. This is $15 on Amazon, or I believe like $17 at Books A Million. This is another deck that is very popular among the YouTube tarot community. It's very popular and highly rated on Amazon. It's not one that I personally, again, have. It's not something that fascinates me too much and that I'm not really intrigued by. I love crows, I love ravens, but it's just not something that I feel drawn to at the moment anyway. But this is another one that, again, is very popular, very highly rated. Coming in at number 8, the Everyday Tarot Mini Tarot Deck by Bridget Esselmont. This is $19.95 on Amazon, or you can get it for $14.95 at Books A Million. This, and also on her website, biddytarot.com, you can also get this deck for $9.95 or $10. It is a mini tarot deck. Again, this is not one that I have, but I like it because it's very loosely based off of the Rider-Waite Tarot, but with less colorful, but it has like very royal gold and white and purple colors. Why I like this deck is because Bridget Esselmont created it, and she is the owner of Biddy Tarot, which is literally, if you were to Google the meaning of any tarot card, it would probably be the top site that pops up on Google, because she has such very detailed meanings about each and every single card. The next one on the list is the Mystic Mondays Tarot, and this is by Grace Dong. You can get it for $16.83 on Amazon. This deck is the second tarot deck that I ever owned. My fiance bought this for me on Mother's Day, and this is a deck that I was like looking for a deck that really called out to me, and this was the deck that like screamed at me like, hey, pick me up. It's black and it's mystical. It's black and mystical. Like, this deck is literally, the back of them anyway, is just literally my vibe. and then the sides are this like really pretty holographic texture. Like, it's just so pretty to look at. And looking at the cards, they are very, very modern, very geometrical shaped, and they're just so pretty. They're very simple, but they're very pretty. This is a really beautiful deck. I absolutely love it. It's again one of the most popular decks according to like Amazon and also on Barnes & Noble. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. The cardstock again is pretty good. It's very easy to shuffle them. It's very easy for a card to pop out. It's just all around a really good deck. If you are new to tarot, I wouldn't really recommend this deck too much, just because the illustrations are so simple that you're not going to get much symbolism behind it. So this is more like an advanced deck, so if you already know the cards and the meanings and you already have your own meanings to them, then I would highly recommend this deck. So coming in at number 6 is the Kawaii Tarot by Diana Lopez. This is a deck that is $15 at Barnes & Noble or $19.59 on Amazon or Amazon.com. This again is a tarot deck that is so cute. I don't have it personally just because I haven't found the need or the use for it, but this is a deck that's again very popular, very cute. If you like the girly, very kawaii style, this is definitely a deck to get. If you want to give readings that have a more like light vibe to it, or it's somebody that's new to readings and they want to ease into it, I would probably do something a little bit more along these lines. That way they're not scared by some of the illustrations off of the more original decks. This is again not one that I would recommend too much for beginners, because some of the illustrations are very simplistic. Even though they are super cute, it is very simple, but it's a cute deck. So coming in at number 5 is the Cat Tarot, and this is by Megan Lynn Cott. You can get this at Barnes & Noble for around $15-16 or on Amazon for $15.26. This again is a deck that's just so cute. The illustrations are so pretty, but again, this is another one that yet again I'm going to say, you don't know the cards that well, this is not a deck that I would really recommend, because again, each illustration's not gonna tell you too much about what each card means, just because it's going along the lines of the whole cat thing. So for example, the devil is a vacuum, and if you don't really know too much about the cards, you're gonna be like, you've got a vacuum coming your way. So this is another one for more like intermediate to like advanced card readers is when I would recommend this. But it's really cute. The illustrations are really cute, and this is again another very popular. If you're a cat lover, this is another deck that I would just highly recommend, but again, it's not really for beginner readers. I would suggest this to more like intermediate to advanced readers. Coming in at number 4 is the Wildwood Tarot deck, and this one I am so excited to have it on this list, because this is a deck that I have been wanting for so long, but when I go to Barnes & Noble or when I go to Books A Million, it's literally $40. It's $39.99 there, so I'm like, okay, this is a little too steep for me right now, so that's why I kept putting it off. But now that I saw that it's $19.73 on Amazon, you guys, I jumped the gun. But this deck is one that when I was first looking for a deck that I was vibing with, this is one of the decks that like really spoke to me. So it's beautiful. I mean, the illustrations are just gorgeous. I love the contrast of like the black and white with like these vivid colors, and it's just so pretty. This is one of the most popular decks out there. Again, every tarot reader and their moms have this deck, that I can't believe I'm barely jumping on this bandwagon now. Number 3 is the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and this is a deck that is $13.17 on Amazon, and typically everywhere else is probably going to cost around $15 to $18. It shouldn't cost you too much, because this is actually the original tarot deck, the most highly known, very most widely spread, the one that's most common, the ones that if you were to look up a picture of a tarot card, this would more than likely be the one that you see, ones that you see in movies and all that. It's going to be the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. This is a tarot deck that me specifically, I have the Universal Waite deck, but this is not one that I vibe with. Even when I was first learning and they recommended me to get the Rider-Waite deck, which is the only reason why I have it, it's just not something that I've ever picked up and used in my readings personally, like ever. I think the only time that I've used it, the only time that I've used it is when I'm practicing with it. But again, to each their own. Some people love this deck, some people swear by this deck, some people like this is their favorite deck because it's the OG. So again, go with, if you're vibing with it, check it out. I mean, it is the most popular deck out there, so this is definitely one to consider. Alright, coming in at number 2 is the Urban Tarot by Robin Scott. This is $17.44 on Amazon, and it looks like this. So this has its pros and its cons. Its pros is that it's gorgeous, and that if you are a beginner and you want a deck that's different and not the Rider-Waite deck, and you want to start off with something that you'll kind of be familiar with, this would be a good one, because not only is it like modern, like so modern, like for example we have 5 of Wands being strife, and then you see these two people with opposing baseball teams at a bar and they're fighting because, you know, they're teams. Illustrations are so modern. This is literally told in our times, our day and age. Not only that, but like at the bottom it tells you what each one means. For example, the 5 of Wands, if you guys know, the 5 of Wands means conflict, it means competition, it means strife, and it literally will tell you like, hey, you need a little hint, here's a little hint. So it's perfect for beginners because it'll tell you at the bottom what each one kind of sort of means, so it'll give you a little help and a little hint when you're learning. The con about this though, there is one con, is that this deck is freaking huge. So if you're doing the gypsy shuffle, it's gonna be kind of hard if you have tiny fingers. I have tiny fingers, I have tiny hands, so you're gonna have to either waterfall shuffle or casino shuffle, which I don't. Casino shuffle, I don't, you guys, it'll ruin the cards. So that is why, that's the only con. I swear I didn't do this on purpose, but number 1 is my personal favorite. This is also a deck that's really famous and popular on Amazon and highly rated, but it's my personal favorite deck. It is the one that I use the most when I'm doing my readings because I just vibe with it. I'm just so in tune with it. It's just something that literally is just, it just comes to me naturally and it flows naturally. All these meanings just flow naturally to me. It's just one that I've really bonded with, and it is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, which you can get for $15 on Amazon. That is the cheapest price that I've seen anywhere else. Everywhere else is gonna have it for over 20 bucks. So I would highly recommend going to Amazon for it. So these illustrations are absolutely stunning. It takes the Rider-Waite illustrations that we see, that we love, so it's perfect for a beginner, but it gives it a very feminist, very modern, female twist to it, which I absolutely love, and I just think it is absolutely stunning. For example, the 5 of Wands, if you guys know the traditional Rider-Waite, it's all dudes. Here we have all women in the 5 of Wands. It's absolutely stunning. I absolutely love it. This is a deck that I really vibe with. The illustrations are beautiful. I've bonded very well. I know another person that has started their tarot journey, and this is the deck that also spoke to them. So it is one that I highly recommend, you guys. If you were to start with any deck and you are, you know, you want to vibe with something, and especially if you're female, this is one that I would highly recommend. The cardstock is amazing. This is just the number 1 deck for me. If you were to get any deck, I highly recommend this one. So that is it, you guys. We have the top 20 tarot decks under $20. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button and turning on that notification bell to be notified when I post. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.